Hello everybody, happy Tuesday. Jill and Aaron here with Our Food Southeast New Brunswick, Nos Aliments Sud-Est du Nouveau-Brunswick. Et puis aujourd'hui, we are following up to the event we hosted in February called Good Food into Motion. And also, we're going to share some of the themes that came out of that day and then also the follow-up that we had at the NFU AGM. Just a small disclaimer is that we tried to schedule this live Facebook video and then we ran into some technical difficulties, so our bad. We hope you still get to enjoy this. And we're also going to experiment with some bilingualism. Alors on va peut-être aller en français et en anglais un petit peu, and we hope that everybody gets a good understanding.
Ok, donc on va commencer avec juste partager du feedback, un suivi, on est en train de faire un suivi de ce qui s'est passé avec notre événement La Bonne Bouffe de l'Avent. Donc il y a plein de choses, surtout des trucs de politique alimentaire qui sont sortis de cette rencontre, des idées que vous avez eues, que le monde a partagées. Puis on a eu la chance d'aller au AGM du New Brunswick Farmers Union, l'Union fermière
L'Union nationale des fermiers et fermiers
du Nouveau-Brunswick. Donc c'était une chance. Il y avait there's representatives from all of our New Brunswick political party. Il y avait des représentants de tous nos partis politiques. Donc c'était vraiment bien. On a pu leur demander des questions et on a pu avoir quelques réponses. Vous pouvez vous décider si elles vous satisfont. Si c'est satisfaisant ou non.
On espère que oui. We do our best. So that's a great point that Aaron was able to bring some of those key themes and questions that were raised at Good Food into Motion to ask at the AGM for the National Farmers Union in New Brunswick. So we are going to go a little bit back and forth. We'll try to keep this video as short as possible, and so we're going to hit on the key themes from Good Food into Motion. So the first was identifying and protecting our agricultural land.
Identifier et protéger nos terres agricoles. Ça, c'était une des priorités qui est sortie de notre rencontre.
Number two was we can't have food security without local fish.
La sécurité alimentaire n'existe pas sans du poisson local.
Number three, the importance of removing barriers to local agriculture and food production with simple legislative solutions.
Donc, on a parlé de l'importance d'enlever les barrières, les choses qui empêchent la production locale agricole, mais aussi la préparation, la production d'aliments avec des règles qui sont simples et puis qui ne sont pas compliquées. C'est des petites règles, des petits changements. C'est là qu'on va commencer.
Then we have shifting public industry towards promoting fresh local food. I think we're seeing some of that already with different initiatives, but getting deeper into that and seeking more government support.
And like publicity industry too.
Right, the media.
Yeah, the media in our local spaces. Donc on veut voir comme on veut essayer de changer le message autour de la média dans nos espaces publics. Donc pour promouvoir la bonne bouffe, mais aussi la bouffe locale.
Working with CANB, so Cooperative and Agri-Food New Brunswick, to address infrastructure barriers to local producers.
Donc on aimerait pouvoir travailler et parler avec la coopérative agroalimentaire du Nouveau-Brunswick, CANB, pour adresser comme les choses qui nous empêchent, qui empêchent les petits fermiers, les petits et pas non seulement les petits, les moins gros, les moyens, voilà, à accéder à ce marché-là.
And then lastly, so we're just touching on the key points here from the Good Food into Motion event. So scale appropriate regulations that support small and medium farmers. You kind of just said that actually. So it's key to our economic development strategy that we don't forget our small and medium-sized farms because they make up a huge part of our agricultural sector.
Exactly. Donc pour nous, c'est vraiment c'est de trouver de la législation qui est appropriée à l'échelle de nos fermes. Parce que toutes nos législations maintenant s'appliquent aux grandes fermes, aux opérations industrielles et pas aux petits fermiers ou aux moyens fermiers. Donc on veut changer ça. Puis aussi on veut dire que c'est une partie clé de notre économie locale, du développement de notre économie.
C'est vrai. Absolutely. So Aaron, I wasn't at the NFU AGM, but Aaron was in attendance, and he got to talk to as many people as he had the energy for that day. I think you did a pretty good job going around and tracking down our local decision makers. So I'm going to let you take it away in terms of what kind of came out of those questions.
Okay. So what's exciting is we just spoke about the good food in motion priorities that were brought up by people from our region. What was really cool is going to the new NFU AGM and finding that farmers from throughout our province are bringing up some of the same issues. So we're on track here. So I'd like to share some of the things that farmers spoke up about at this meeting. Donc ce qui est vraiment cool avec les résultats de notre rencontre, la bonne bouffe de l'Avent, les choses qu'on vient de partager avec nous, les choses qui sont des priorités dans notre région, dans notre réseau, c'était cool de voir que au AGA du NFU, il y avait les fermiers de partout dans notre province ont partagé beaucoup de choses similaires, comme il y a beaucoup de choses qui se couvrent. Donc,
who would have thought? We're all experiencing some similar issues. Who would have thought?
There's something wrong with our food system that needs to be fixed. Okay, so the farmers, they spoke up about really cool points, not necessarily like a need for daycare, for farmers who don't have access to daycare, to employment insurance, decent rural internet, which is really hard to operate a business in rural New Brunswick without internet, access to land. Sometimes it's really hard to buy a piece of land that doesn't have a house on it and get a loan. Pretty much impossible, actually. So that was one bit. Donc une partie qu'ils ont dit, c'est l'importance d'avoir des services de garderie pour nos fermiers, l'accès à l'assurance emploi, avoir de l'internet qui marche dans des endroits ruraux, et puis accès à la terre, parce que parfois c'est vraiment dur de prêter à la banque si tu veux juste acheter de la terre, c'est presque impossible si tu n'as pas d'argent. Puis d'autres choses, c'est des règles et de la législation qui est appropriée. Ils ont demandé la même chose que nous, ce qu'on parlait, le besoin d'avoir des règles qui marchent pour les petits producteurs, qui ne sont pas rien que faits pour des producteurs industriels.
Yeah.
So, scale-appropriate legislation, they spoke about that too, that we really need. And I'm repeating myself here, but it's so important that we find legislation that doesn't just apply to industrial scale operations, but to our smaller farmers. And doing that is not rocket science either. So we really like to look into that. They wanted to see that help. They also brought up the rural mental health crisis that's happening. And that's really important. Ils ont parlé de la crise qui existe autour de la santé mentale dans nos communautés rurales. Ce qui a été partagé, c'est que nos fermiers, nos pêcheurs et nos forestiers sont les gens qui ont le plus haut taux de suicide dans le Canada. So our farmers, fishers, and foresters have the highest suicide rate in all of Canada. And again, this is something that needs to be addressed, and I thought it was cool they brought it up. Getting behind community supporting agriculture, comme on veut vraiment que... On sait que la communauté supporte l'idée de l'agriculture supportée par la communauté, mais on demande que ça soit quelque chose qui est supporté à un plus haut niveau, comme de la part du ministère de l'Agriculture. Donc ça, c'était un bon point aussi. Et puis, encourager les pratiques bio, c'est une autre chose qu'on a demandé au gouvernement, que les fermiers demandaient. Donc ça, c'était vraiment bien. Donc c'est cool de voir où les demandes sont. Donc, so it's really cool to see where people are interested. And I thought now I could just share a little bit of the answers we got, because we actually got to talk to David Kuhn from the Green Party, Mr. Andrew Harvey, the Minister of Agriculture, and anyway, so we got some perspectives we're going to share. So I'm going to quickly go over that.
We thought we would be quicker than this, by the way, but it's longer, and that's okay, because these are all issues we need to voice.
Exactly. So I'll try and wrap it up here. So Andrew Harvey, Minister of Agriculture, said that that the ministry is addressing food sovereignty through the local food and beverage strategy and the cooperative, the Agri-Food Cooperative of New Brunswick can be. So they are working on it through that. I think we'd really like to help them with that too. They really want to hear our feedback, and they're seeking input, and we are following up with them on your behalf. So this is cool, and we're going to keep you updated on what happens there. And one interesting thing is one of their priorities is to look at supply chain management as a way to reduce imported food into New Brunswick and give some of the smaller producers or local producers a chance. Cool idea. Keen on exploring the value-added industry. Another cool idea for us. Donc, je vais le dire en français là. Donc, le ministère de l'Agriculture est vraiment ouvert à entendre nos pensées, à entendre nos idées. Donc, on va faire un suivi avec eux. C'est déjà dans le lignée. Ils sont en train d'adresser la souveraineté alimentaire à travers de la stratégie de local food strategy, la stratégie d'alimentation locale, à travers la coopérative Agri-Food New Brunswick. Donc ça c'est vraiment bien. On aimerait faire partie de cette discussion et les aider aussi. Mais aussi, ils regardent la façon de gérer nos imports. Donc, ils aimeraient gérer nos imports de façon à encourager, à les limiter peut-être et encourager nos producteurs locaux. Et puis, ils sont vraiment intéressés à regarder l'industrie autour des produits de valeur ajoutée. Voilà, merci.
And a really good stat, I think, to come back on this point is the amount of food that we import. So about 95% of our foodstuffs are imported, and in the 70s we ate about 75% of New Brunswick grown food. That was our diet. So it's a really interesting shift, and it's good to hear that there's interest in working towards that again. So that was the Liberal perspective, the Minister of Agriculture. Then we moved on to the Conservative perspective. So
they had they said a great line was, most farmers may not be organically certified, but they're organically minded. They're moving towards better practices that involve less spraying of crops and better crop rotation. They also said that one really cool point around spraying, when they were asked about spraying, all spraying on Crown land should be terminated until better, safe, scientific data has been made available.
That's a really interesting point.
Ouais, le point de vue conservateur a dit que la plupart de nos fermiers sont peut-être pas certifiés bio, mais ils ont une culture bio. Donc, ils ont une mentalité bio et qui sont en train d'aller envers des meilleures pratiques dans lesquelles il y a moins de... il y a moins de... Comment ça se dit, spring?
Je ne sais pas. Désolée.
Less spraying. Il y a moins de spraying de crops et puis une meilleure rotation des cultures. Puis le truc intéressant qu'ils ont dit, c'était que tout l'arrosage de glyphosate sur nos terres, les terres de la couronne, devrait être terminé tant qu'on n'a pas des meilleurs résultats, meilleurs résultats scientifiques. Donc ça, c'était vraiment bien. Et puis on va finir avec le point de vue de David Kuhn, aussi, du Parti vert. Et lui, il a dit que... Lui, il a dit que on a besoin d'avoir le contrôle de nos terres. C'est vraiment important qu'on puisse nous nourrir nous-mêmes et qu'on ait le contrôle de notre accès à la nourriture. So, David Kuhn said we need to have control of our land, and it's vital that we be able to feed ourselves and have control of our own food supply. That's a bottom line thing for them. They also said we need legislation that reflects the scale of the farm. Like we said before, there needs to be different tiers in legislation that matches farm operations.
And this is a point where I want to sneak in because Aaron's told a really interesting story about egg production in Ontario, where a very small legislative change, well, I'm going to let you tell it because I'm not going to be able to tell it properly. So
No worries. So in Ontario, there's a really cool movement called, well, that's actually finished because it accomplished its goal, called More Flocking Options. And More Flocking Options is to get the amount of chickens people are allowed to have on their farm raised without having quota. So right now in New Brunswick, your limit is 199 chickens, and that also happens to be the exact number at which you'll break even if you have
right?
200, about 200.
Right.
But so that seems to be conveniently, it's right on the point at which you would not be able to break even if you had a chicken operation. So the idea is more options and saying we're not going against the quota system. We understand the importance of that. What we're asking is that limit be raised to include more people. And one of the neat results, more chickens.
More chickens.
And more farmers, not more
right.
people. Not farming people. So the idea is they have managed to raise it up to 500 birds that you could have without a quota. And in a lot of, Ontario's not the, we don't have data from there, but in other locations where the quota has been raised to 500, that also started 500 new small-scale chicken operations. So it's a huge economic boost.
Within a very short period of time, too. So if you need more information on chicken farming and what that looks like, we got a chicken farmer right here.
So anyways, donc en français, ce qu'on voulait dire, c'était un des petits trucs qu'on aimerait pouvoir changer, c'est des petits changements de législation. Comme on n'est pas en train de demander que le quota soit changé, le système de quota s'en aille, mais ce qu'on est en train de dire, c'est peut-être que si on pouvait aller avoir plus de poules sans avoir de quota, ça serait possible d'avoir beaucoup plus de fermes et beaucoup plus de point de vue développement économique pourrait être énorme. Donc c'est ça. Ça c'est des petites idées et c'est des petites idées qui nous ont inspirés pendant cette conférence.
And then I think we've gone way over time, so you need to finish this off with the inspiring quote of the day, which really ties in really well to what we've just said.
So the inspiring quote of the day at the AGM came from Bian Yao. She's a new farmer from China, farms on Keswick Ridge. And she said, it really summed up the day, please take small and medium scale farmers seriously. Donc un vraiment bon quote de la journée, qui faisait un bon sommaire de la journée, venait de Bian Yao, c'est une fermière qui vient de Chine, qui vient de Keswick Ridge, et elle a dit, s'il vous plaît, prenez nos petits et moyens fermiers plus sérieusement. Donc, we'll leave you with that.
We'll leave you with that, and then I guess one last good point that I'd like to continue to raise is one of the outliers we've noticed in these conversations is the idea of Indigenous food sovereignty as well. So that's a really important conversation that we need to raise more and participate in. But we thank you for watching. Merci d'avoir regardé. We hope that this gave you some additional information to work with. Please reach out if you would like to follow up on any of this. And until next time, we'll work on our live video process.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.